Hi, my name is Muhammad Abbas Riaz. I'm grateful to the City Council members for providing me with the opportunity to enlighten the efforts New York City Fire Department is exercising to prevent the lives, properties, and businesses from fire damages of this prestigious city of New York. As we all know, life safety is one of the highest concerns while living in a city with a lot of high-rise buildings. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how New York City Fire Department has led efforts to make New York the safest big city in the nation. I will also discuss the efforts to decrease the chances of unwanted fire ignition and practice of reducing the fire hazard with the goal of decreasing the loss of life and property. I would like to start with identifying the basic concept of education, enforcement, and engineering. According to the National Fire Protection Association NFPA reports from 2013 and 2011, there was an average of 366,600 fires in residential homes. Public education leads to community resilience and helps the fire department by reducing risk to the public and firefighters alike. One of the most important things to successful fire prevention public education programs or messages is to create partnerships that help spread your message to as many people as possible. Education is a core activity of community fire safety programs. The goal of fire safety education programs is to eliminate residential fire deaths in New York City. Fire deaths have dropped steadily during the past decades, and studies have shown that there is a direct link to strong public education programs. Enforcement. Inspection and code enforcement is often the largest division of a fire prevention program. Inspection and code enforcement ensures that new and existing buildings are maintaining fire safe operations for their customers and public safety members. When a code compliance officer completed his inspection, he created a report in which he noted if there are any code violations that will need a follow-up inspection. Engineering includes action that employ physical science to find solutions for reducing the impact or eliminating the risk of fire that may involve the development of codes, standards, equipment, and system. Code enforcement in our jurisdiction. The New York City Fire Code is a city law that establishes fire safety requirements for buildings and businesses in New York City. It applies to all persons and places in New York City. The Fire Code regulates such matters as the prevention and reporting of fires, emergency preparedness, manufacturing, storage, handling, use, and transportation of hazardous materials and combustible materials, the conduct of various businesses and activities that pose fire hazard, and the design, installation, operations, and maintenance of the building and premises that house such materials. Code application to new and existing occupancies in our jurisdiction. The Fire Code was amended by Local Law Number 47 of 2022. The amended Fire Code took effect on April 15, 2022 and is known as 2022 Fire Code. New 2022 Fire Code design, installation, operational, and maintenance requirements apply to new and existing buildings and businesses as set forth in FC 102. Special provisions may apply to projects in progress. Local organizations that determine fire resistance of building materials. New York City uses ASTM International, American National Standard Institute, ANSI, Underwriters Laboratories of Canada, or manufacturers' specification manuals to determine fire resistance of building materials. Types of tests used to determine fire rating of certain building components materials in our area. ASTM E119 provides instructions for rating and criteria for fire resistance of various building materials. It guides the work of professional contractors along with other project stakeholders in constructing interior spaces. ASTM E119 contemplates fire test response criteria, which is essential for fire safety. How fire test and fire ratings applies to inspection and code enforcement in our area. In order to establish an assembly fire resistance rating, professionals use what is called a time temperature curve. Assemblies are then designated as 1 hour or 2 hour, for example, as a measure of their fire resistance over time. Code officials compare building materials with code requirements to determine compliance. A fire resistance rating is one of the many tools used to calculate relative fire risk. Building owners must comply with these requirements, and failure to do so will result in penalties. Characteristics of unsafe structure in our area as they relate to code requirements. An unsafe building is a structure or part of structure or a premises that is danger to public safety because it is open, vacant, unguarded, or structurally compromised. Building construction type in our area that poses the biggest hazard for potential conflagration and fire spread. The buildings or structures made up of combustible material poses the biggest hazard in New York City. New York City Fire Preparedness Guide defines combustible buildings as those with structures made from wood or other materials that can catch fire itself. For plan review and structural control as a mean for fire protection would improve the safety of unsafe structure in our area. When we discuss the degree of fire department involvement, it relates to the type of plans and the amount of detailed review performed in that function. Plan review is simply doing an evaluation of design plan prior to actual construction or function. Plans can be related to construction or they may be related to process operations of manufacturing or product assembly. The following only briefly highlight some fire department concerns identified in the construction document review process: architectural, structural, mechanical, electrical, and fire protection drawings. I'm grateful to the City Council members once again.